Periscoping live from Wolfout Studios in sunny Madison, Wisconsin. It's Up Periscope with your host, Nate Chappell. Tonight's guest is writer and director Rick Kessenich and the 4.8-minute film project. And now, the man who chose not to go to the moon because blue cheese is gross, Nate Chappell. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Where are my gentlemen at? Ooh. And welcome to episode Pine Tree of Up Periscope, the best thing to happen to Wednesday night since Party of Five. Speaking of five, we are, of course, broadcasting into the air from my iPhone 5S via the Periscope application. Periscope. Oh my God, what have we done? That's their slogan this week. You know, they seem to keep changing their slogan every week, Johnny, and they don't get any better. Surprising that guy hasn't been fired yet. Or that gal. Ladies, you can suck at your jobs too. Not as well, of course, about 73% as well. 3 out of 4 ain't bad, though. Women's Lib has actually been in the news a lot lately. Did you guys hear there's a lady running for president? Isn't that ridiculous? I mean, look, I like women. I mean, my mom's a woman. But I just don't know if they've got what it takes to be president. I mean, what if a bar of soap at the White House needs to get body hair all over it? I mean, who's going to do that? And what if... Well, that's it, really. But that's a big one. I mean, maybe you want to risk it, but I don't, okay? So this is episode Pine Tree. So it might get a bit sticky. Or sappy. Maybe both. When I was a kid, we made a tree fort up in a pine tree. The Chappells are not a particularly handy people, so it was just an old door nailed to a couple of branches. And by the time you got up there, your hands were all full of sap, so your fingers would stick to all the secret notes. And forget about origami. The point of the fort basically became to try to get successfully to the door without getting any sap on your hands. By the time you're at the top, you've already won or lost, but either way, it's over, you know? These days, your iPad would just be covered in sap. Gotta pour some gas on it. Anybody else do this? When you get sap on your hands, you just wash it off with gasoline? Just us? Okay. Man, those fumes, huh? Gas is a hell of a drug. That's where my downward spiral began. I'd just go roll my hands in that sap, rub my hair against the tree trunk, just for another splash. There wasn't enough sap in the world, you know? I was a pine junkie. A punky. Another woman in the news, did you hear about this lady who left her baby at a grocery store in a cart for 2 hours? Accidentally? That's the crazy part to me, the accidentally part. If I had a kid, I'd be leaving it everywhere. It takes a village, you know? But no, I can definitely understand how this lady feels. I lost my keys for like an hour and a half the other day. So scary, you guys. I mean, how could I do that? What kind of monster? This baby was the youngest of 4, so it's no wonder, really. That's why there should be a 3-child limit, I believe. People get all loosey-goosey when they have extras, you know? It's fine. I'm sure somebody will use them. We've already got enough to play sheep's head, so... But then this Facebook page starts up in solidarity with Cherish, the mother, with thousands of people saying, I stand with Cherish. The baby signed up just to remind her. That's been a monologue, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a terrific show for you tonight from the Madison 48-hour film project, Rick Kessenich, with whom we'll be making a movie right in front of your eyes. Well, in front of your phone's eyes. Don't move a muscle, because I'm allergic to seafood. Please. It's a matter of safety. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Our guest who we'll be hearing from later, he's actually going to be telling you a true story. He is the associate producer for the Madison 48-hour film project. So what that is this film project that happens, it's 48 hours, that's why it's called that. You have to shoot a film in 48 hours, okay? And you get these required elements, like a name and an object and a line of dialogue they have to use. So, you know, to give you a little sample, we don't have 48 hours. Do you guys have 48 hours in today's workaday world?
Well,
No. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to have a 4.8-minute film festival, okay? And so we're going to also use parameters that will be decided by you on Periscope. Heart. Guys, remember, you can change the color of your heart. If you don't like the color of your heart, so you just tap 3 times, 2 times, 1 time. And repeat that until the color changes, okay? Right, Johnny?
It's working.
It's working. Okay, good. Perfect. You just got to do it long enough. So that's what we're doing. We're going to do this. You're going to give suggestions to Viv over here. She's going to ask you questions. Take it away, Viv.
All right, so what we're looking for here are required elements in the film that we're going to be making tonight live. And we need help from you, the Periscope audience. This is what we need. We need an office object. An office object. First on the list. Shout it out. Any office object.
use as a prop, correct?
To use
Yeah,
as
to
a
use
prop.
as a prop.
As a prop. This is going to be in the
This isn't a Mad
film.
Lib. This isn't a Mad Lib, okay, guys?
Okay, we have it. Next, I need a line of dialogue. A line of dialogue that will appear in the film that you will see.
Sure.
A short film that you will see.
Short line of dialogue.
A short line of dialogue that you will see in the short film later tonight. Okay, we got it. Next up, we need a character name. A character name. Shout it out. Give me a character name that will appear in the film. Okay, we got it. All right, last required element. I need a genre or film style. What genre do you guys want to see tonight?
Guess ready to make some
Good suggestions, guys.
Are you getting some good ones?
Yeah. Okay, we got it. We got it, guys.
All right.
So I'm going to show to the audience now
Okay, don't look.
what we're doing.
I can't see. That's right.
Perfect.
All right, guys.
Dramatically tear it off. Fold it once. Now hand it to me. You can take that handheld. Alright. So the way this is going to work, it's 4 minutes, 48 seconds. That's what 4.8 minutes is, in case you didn't know. As soon as I look at this, the time will start. Johnny's ready with the timer. And and here's the camera. I know Rick's usually the director, but do you mind if I go ahead and take this one?
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead?
All right.
Yeah.
Could you say action and then I'll open this?
Ready? And action.
Okay. You know where the stapler is? All right. grab a stapler. You guys
I might have a stapler in my car.
Switch your faces. Okay. You got a stapler? Rick, get in here. Get in your spot. Well, bring that up to your face and say, "These aren't snails." So keep it down and then bring it up. And action. Oh. And action.
These aren't snails.
Perfect. Now say, "I'll never be happy."
I'll never be happy.
Okay. And what's the genre? Okay. Johnny, you're in. Rick, you're out.
Does
Johnny?
Johnny need a stapler?
No.
Okay.
Move forward a little, Johnny. And say, well, the apocalypse just happened.
Well, the apocalypse just happened.
Now say it in an old man voice.
Well, the apocalypse just happened.
Well, that's good.
That's beautiful. And cut. That's a wrap on shooting, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
If you want to
good shoot.
get back there. And then, am I doing this? I forget. We're going to be right back. Great.
Strike it. Hello, man in the mirror. I know you're used to seeing Nate in this mirror, in your mirror. But tonight, I'm a fill-in because Nate is editing a movie. We're making a movie in 4.8 minutes, 4 minutes and 48 seconds. You know, I've often wondered who made you the man in the mirror? What gave you the right? What qualified you to become the man in the mirror? Could I be the man in the mirror? Is that a possibility at some point down the road, say in a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I hope so, and I look forward to that day. At this moment, I just want to thank you. Thanks for being my friend. Thanks for being there every time I look in the mirror.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm still editing. Rick's got to come up here and tell you a story. It's a true story. I got to go ahead.
Hi, I'm Rick Kessenich, and I'm the special guest. I thought Nate would be out here to chat with me since it's a talk show, but Nate is editing the movie, and it seems to be coming along really well. I don't know if I'd use that take, but maybe try an earlier take. The story I'm going to tell is about one of my video shoots. Is my head okay? Am I in the frame? Okay. I am a freelance director, writer, and producer.
Time.
Okay, that's time for the 4.8.
Okay guys, that was time for the 4.8. I just want to know, pencils down, I'm all done. Go on.
Continue with the story?
Yeah.
You're just wrapping things up?
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Just render it out?
Just render it.
Okay. So while Nate's rendering out the film, I was on a shoot for Subway in the summer of 2007. I was traveling around shooting a lot of different stories for a Subway meeting. So I shot the wheat harvest in Kansas, and I went to the state of Washington and shot apple picking and shot bread baking down in Phoenix, bread capital of the world. But one of the assignments was to go to Winnipeg, Canada. It's a city in Canada. To shoot at a factory that made plastic film for Subway. I think they wrapped some kind of food in it. So instead of flying to Winnipeg, I thought it would be fun to drive from Madison to Winnipeg and make a little adventure out of it. So I rented a car because I didn't trust the car I was driving at the time, or I just thought it would be fun to rent a car to drive to Winnipeg. And it wasn't too bad driving up there. Drove through Wisconsin, Minnesota, stayed overnight, drove up to Winnipeg, got a hotel room. Maybe this is too much detail. But the next morning, I got to the shoot and met the sound man and the cameraman. And the sound guy, I complained about not being able to get a good cup of coffee at the hotel. The sound guy said, I'll tell you where you can't get a good cup of coffee. The States, referring to the United States. I said, really? He said, yeah, you can't get a good cup of coffee anywhere in the States. Coffee in the States is way too weak. And I'm thinking, has this guy ever been to Starbucks? And Johnny will appreciate this. Johnny works at Starbucks. And, they invented strong coffee, as far as I know. Anyway, they said, we'll take you for a good cup of coffee. So he says to the cameraman, hey, Dave, let's just call him Dave. Dave, let's take this guy, meaning me, over to Tim Hortons when we're done here. So we did our interviews and shot around this plant, hopped in their car with them. They drove me to this place called Tim Hortons. I wasn't familiar with it. But apparently, it's like the Dunkin' Donuts of, the Canadian equivalent of Dunkin' Donuts. I thought they were going to go in and buy me a cup of coffee. They just pulled into the parking lot, said, go ahead, that's where you're going to get a good cup of coffee. You're never going to get a good cup of coffee in the States. So I went in, ordered a coffee, back in the day when I was drinking coffee. Took a sip, I paid for it, took a sip, and I thought, this tastes like Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Dunkin' Donuts is not strong coffee. So what is this dude talking about when he says, the coffee in the States is way too weak? That was the preamble to my story. Not sure how much time I have left for this story, but the main part of the story is when I was driving home the next day back to Wisconsin. I was going to stop in Duluth because I love that area. So I drove across Canada, Manitoba possibly, is the province, and it was kind of creepy. I had a creepy feeling the whole day. I get to International Falls, Minnesota, U.S. Border Patrol. No sweat, right? I've never driven through the Border Patrol before, but I thought it would be pretty simple, like going through the toll booth in Illinois. And they have it divided into lanes and little booths. And it looked like I was going to be assigned to a lane that was manned by a woman who looked very pleasant and motherly. She reminded me of my mom a little bit. And I thought, well, this is going to be easy. The minute I pull up to her lane, she puts an orange cone out there. She's going on break. I get assigned to the next lane over, and there's a jack-booted thug over there. This agent was wearing boots, knee-high boots, shiny black boots. Not sure why that was necessary. This guy was straight from the academy. He said, what are you doing? Why were you in Canada? I was producing a video shoot for Subway at this plant. And he said, where's all your equipment? Why are you driving a rental car? He was very suspicious. I could tell he didn't like me from the get-go. And I said, well, I don't have equipment. We hired a cameraman and a sound man in Canada. I'm the producer. I'm the guy that asked the questions. And he said, oh yeah? You're the guy that asked the questions, huh? Well, I'm the guy that asked the questions around here. And proceeded to ask me if I had any gifts in the car and computers, and I got confused. And I said, I don't have any gifts. And looked in my trunk, and he found my laptop, which was wrapped up in my jacket, And that totally pissed him off. And he said, I'm going to need you to pull into that parking spot over there, give me your keys, and please have a seat inside. So I ended up being detained at the border for 3 hours while they went through all my belongings. Eventually they let me back, but I think they've been watching me ever since. That's my story. You like
Great.
it?
Yeah, I loved it. Thanks so much, Rick.
How's the film?
Well, I tell you, the film's coming along really nice. How you doing there? Oh, and that's the end of the guest segment, which is just delightful timing.
4.8 minutes.
We are going to watch the movie now. 4.8 minutes. Are you guys ready? Do you want to gather around here?
Yeah.
Gents? Okay, it's kind of long. I didn't have time to really cut a lot out, you know. So, but let's go over the elements again. What did I do?
Capture the heart of it?
Ignore that.
Everybody okay?
Yep.
Okay, Okay, office object, stapler, line of dialogue, those aren't snails. Character name, Johnny Brain. Genre, film style, post-apocalyptic. Okay? This film is called Johnny Brain.
Oh, I like it.
Thanks.
I like the title.
Oh, sorry, hold on. Let's back it up. Can you unplug the headphones, someone?
Yep.
Nate? Okay, you ready?
What's it called?
It's called Johnny Brain's Post-Apocalyptic Nightmare.
Okay.
These aren't snails.
Well, the apocalypse just happened.
I'll never be happy.
That's awesome.
Alright.
I like that movie.
Yeah, so that's what we did. 48-hour film fest, guys. All right, and now, what that former alarm meant was it's time for the game segment. You guys like games, right? The game segment is win, lose, or Pictionary. See? Win, lose, or Pictionary. I kind of spent a lot of time on this thing, so I wanted to do this some more. Now, I'm going to grab a chair for one of us. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to play Pictionary, right? But you guys are going to make the suggestions of what things to do. The subject is, what, film?
Film.
Yeah, because we got a film guy here, and we just made a film. We made a movie, you guys.
4.8.
In 4.8 minutes.
13.
It might have been 4.9, I'm not going to lie to you. But, I mean, I was walking around for part of it. Anyway. Okay, so we're going to play Win, Lose, or Pictionary. And the way that works is you're going to give us ideas on film. Viv's going to write them down. You want to just front load and then...
Yeah, guys, okay, so give me suggestions for things that they're going to draw related to the theme of film. That could be name of movies, name of a character, something involved in film production. Get creative. Thank you.
As soon as you have one.
Shout them out, guys. Shout them
Let's
out.
start. Do you want to have the first seat? And you're going to guess. And we're just going to switch. We're going to trade off. As soon as you get one right, then you run over to the...
Okay, here we go. This is going to be the first one, you guys. This is what Nate is going to draw and Rick is going to guess.
All right. Here we go.
Okay. Popeye.
Yeah.
Well drawn.
Thanks.
Here's the next one, guys.
So you guys go look at what Viv has.
Okay.
We have one.
Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming.
Okay. As big as you can. We got flowers. Are these flowers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And bumblebee. We got petals. Soil. Leaves. Flower. Garden. Garden there. Is garden one of the words? Or am I just saying garden? Flower bed. Flower garden. Gazebo. Foliage. I don't know. Thick garden. Bush. No garden. Tornado. Sorry. Thinning.
just forget that.
Okay, thing. Lines.
Okay.
I'm not getting it.
Okay.
You can skip if you want.
I'll skip.
Okay.
Skip.
Next one, guys. Here's the next one.
Okay.
Ghost. Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Next.
Am I the guesser?
Yeah, no, you're the giver. Go.
Okay, here's the
Look at
next
that.
one.
Look at that. That's it. We got a countdown? Did you stop it then? Oh, we're good. There.
Okay.
Truck. TV? Is it a TV?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Crowd. Static. It's not static.
No. Sorry, I'm not.
Pixels.
Yep. Okay.
4x3. Letter widescreen.
Okay. Pixels.
Pixar.
Yes.
Woo,
Pixar.
nice.
Oh, and that's. I think we got 3. That was very-
Horrible at this game.
Oh no, that was really good.
That was horrible.
That was very good. I disagree. That's my friend you're talking about. And that's been our show, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank my guests, Rick Kessenich, my crew of 2, Johnny and Viv, Terry Weston for the big idea, Ty Ensrud and Finn Hammond for all the great music, and to the guy upstairs for not making too much noise while we recorded this. Got a new episode of Cat Chat out, Felinigation. It's great, with more on the way, so go to wolfout.tv to check that out. What else? We've got new shows coming soon. Name That Game Show, Hearty Vegetables, so peel them eyes. Follow us at WolfOutTV on Twitter and Periscope, and remember, sharing is caring, and retweeting is not defeating, as the saying goes. Tweet about us at WolfOutTV with the hashtag WolfOut. And as always, guys, be excellent to each other, okay? That's all I ask. Is that asking too much? Really? I made it. Film. Good app, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Join us next week. We're gonna have a great show. We're gonna have 4 guests next week. Maybe it's gonna be episode Quint. Quail. Episode Quail or Quince. Or Quince Paste. Hey, guys, I guess if I have one thing I can impart to